Wangxian Valley, where mountains remember the sky.
Hidden deep within the mist-veiled mountains of southeastern China lies a place that feels less like a destination and more like a dream. Wangxian Valley, located in Jiangxi Province, is a landscape where cliffs rise like ancient guardians, rivers carve quiet paths through stone, and human craftsmanship blends seamlessly with nature. This is not just a valley. It is a living story, one shaped by time, culture, and imagination.
Wangxian Valley is cradled within a region defined by dramatic topography. Towering rock formations stretch skyward, their jagged edges softened by centuries of wind and rain. Dense forests cling to steep slopes, creating a layered tapestry of green that changes with the seasons. Mist is a constant presence here. In the early morning, clouds drift lazily between the peaks, giving the illusion that the mountains float above the earth. This ethereal atmosphere has inspired countless legends, earning the valley a name that loosely translates to the valley where immortals are seen. Water plays an equally vital role. Streams cascade down cliffs, forming waterfalls that echo through the canyon. These waterways eventually merge into calm rivers below, sustaining both the ecosystem and the communities that call this place home. Though Wangxian Valley feels timeless, it is also a product of careful human design. Traditional Chinese architectural elements have been integrated into the cliffs themselves. Wooden houses and pavilions cling to rock faces, connected by narrow walkways and suspension bridges. These structures are inspired by ancient building techniques, echoing the styles of historic mountain villages. Yet, they are not relics. They are part of a modern effort to preserve cultural identity while creating a unique immersive environment for visitors. At night, the valley transforms. Warm lights illuminate the cliffside buildings, turning the mountains into a glowing vertical village. Reflections shimmer on the water below, creating a surreal mirror of light and shadow. It is a scene that feels almost cinematic, both ancient and futuristic at once. The region surrounding Wangxian Valley has long been home to diverse communities, each contributing to its cultural richness. Local traditions, from handicrafts to storytelling, are deeply rooted in the natural environment. Visitors may encounter performances that draw from Chinese folklore, tales of immortals, spirits, and legendary heroes who once roamed these mountains. These stories are not merely entertainment, they are a way of preserving collective memory. Food, too, plays a role in this cultural expression. Local cuisine reflects the flavors of the region, simple, hearty, and closely tied to the land. Ingredients are often sourced from nearby farms and forests, reinforcing the connection between people and nature. In recent years, Wangxian Valley has gained widespread attention, especially through social media. Images of its glowing cliffside structures and misty landscapes have captivated audiences around the world. What sets this destination apart is its ability to evoke emotion. It does not rely solely on natural beauty or architectural innovation, but on the harmony between the two. This rise in popularity has also brought challenges. Managing tourism while preserving the fragile environment is an ongoing effort. Every pathway, every building, every viewpoint seems carefully designed to enhance the sense of wonder. Sustainable practices are being introduced to ensure that the valley remains as pristine as possible for future generations. Standing in Wangxian Valley, it is easy to lose track of time. The boundaries between past and present begin to blur. Ancient myths feel close enough to touch, while modern design quietly supports the experience without overwhelming it. There is a stillness here, a rare kind of silence that invites reflection. Whether watching the mist roll over the peaks or listening to the distant sound of water, visitors often find themselves slowing down, becoming more aware of their surroundings. Perhaps this is the valley's greatest gift, not just its beauty, but its ability to remind us of something deeper. The enduring relationship between humanity and the natural world. Wangxian Valley is more than a scenic location. It is a carefully crafted intersection of nature, culture, and storytelling. A place where mountains seem to breathe, where light dances across stone, and where every corner holds a sense of mystery. In a rapidly changing world, destinations like this offer something rare, a moment of pause. A chance to step outside the ordinary and into a landscape that feels almost otherworldly. And as the mist rises once more, wrapping the valley in its quiet embrace, one cannot help but wonder. Are we merely visitors here, or have we stepped into a place that has been waiting for us all along?
As the journey through Wangxian Valley draws to a close, something unusual begins to happen. It is not the kind of place you simply leave behind. Long after the mountains fade from view, the feeling remains. Perhaps it is the way the cliffs seem to touch the sky, or how the drifting mist blurred the line between earth and heaven. Perhaps it is the quiet rhythm of water echoing through stone, or the soft glow of lights clinging to the mountainside like stars that chose not to fall. There is a certain gravity here, not one that pulls you down, but one that lingers within you. In a world that moves faster every day, places like this remind us of something we often forget to look, to listen, and to feel.
And maybe that is the true magic of Wangxian Valley, not just what you see, but what you carry with you after you've gone, because somewhere, hidden between the mountains and the clouds, between silence and light, Wangxian Valley does not simply exist as a place on a map, it exists as a moment. A moment where time slows, where the world softens, and where the impossible feels real. And when the last light fades behind those towering cliffs, leaving only shadows dancing across the valley, you begin to understand. Some landscapes are beautiful, but Wangxian Valley is unforgettable.
Phong Nha Ke Bang, the kingdom beneath the earth. In the heart of central Vietnam lies a world few truly understand, not because it is hidden, but because it exists beyond ordinary imagination. Phong Nha Ke Bang National Park, located in Quang Binh Province, is one of the most extraordinary natural landscapes on Earth. But unlike most wonders, its true beauty does not rise toward the sky. It descends deep into the earth. Phong Nha Ke Bang is home to one of the oldest karst landscapes in Asia, formed over 400 million years. Towering limestone mountains stretch across the horizon, their rugged surfaces shaped by wind, rain, and the slow passage of geological time. Beneath these mountains lies a hidden network, hundreds of caves and underground rivers, carved silently over millions of years. Beneath these mountains lies a hidden network, hundreds of caves and underground rivers, carved silently over millions of years. This is a place where water has become an artist, sculpting vast chambers, delicate formations, and entire worlds in darkness. To enter these caves is to step into another realm. The air cools, the light fades, and the silence deepens. Some formations resemble towering cathedrals, others, delicate sculptures shaped with impossible precision. Stalactites hang like frozen rain from the ceilings, while stalagmites rise from the ground, slowly reaching upward over thousands of years. Underground rivers flow quietly through these chambers, their surfaces reflecting the faint glow of headlamps like distant stars. Every sound, every footstep, every drop of water echoes through the vast emptiness, reminding visitors of the immense scale of the world beneath their feet. And yet, despite the darkness, there is life here. Strange plants grow where light touches the cave floor. Rare species have adapted to this environment, evolving in isolation. It is a fragile ecosystem, one that has remained largely untouched for centuries. For generations, local communities have lived alongside these mountains, aware of the caves but never fully exploring their depths. Many of the largest discoveries were made only in recent decades, revealing just how much of this underground world remains unknown. Today, Phong Nha Ke Bang is not only a natural wonder but also a place of exploration. Adventurers from around the world come here to journey into its depths, guided by experts who understand both its beauty and its risks. But exploration here is not about conquest. It is about respect. Every step taken inside these caves is a reminder of how small we are in the face of nature's creations. While the caves may be its most famous feature, the park itself is equally breathtaking above ground. Dense tropical forests blanket the mountains, home to diverse wildlife and rare plant species. Rivers wind through the landscape, offering moments of calm between the dramatic peaks. The contrast between the vibrant life above and the silent world below creates a unique balance, one that defines the essence of Phong Nha Ke Bang. This duality is what makes the region so special. It is not just a destination. It is two worlds existing simultaneously. As the journey comes to an end, one truth becomes clear. Phong Nha Ke Bang is not a place you fully understand in a single visit. It is a place you feel. A place that humbles you. That slows you down. That reminds you of the immense forces that shape our planet, far beyond human time. And as you emerge from the darkness, stepping once more into the light, the memory of that hidden world stays with you. Because deep beneath the forests, beyond the reach of sunlight, there is a kingdom that continues to grow, to change, and to exist in quiet mystery. A kingdom not built by hands, but by time itself. And when you think back to those endless chambers, those silent rivers, those ceilings that seem to touch infinity, you begin to realize, some places are explored, but Phong Nha Ke Bang is discovered, again and again, with every heartbeat of the earth itself. Tian Tan Buddha above the noise of the world. High above the restless rhythm of Hong Kong, where the mountains rise quietly from the sea and clouds drift without urgency, there exists a place untouched by haste. Tian Tan Buddha stands here vast, silent, and unwavering. On Lantau Island, far from the crowded streets and endless motion below, the air feels different. Slower, lighter, and as the drone lifts into the sky, revealing the scale of the landscape, one thing becomes clear. This is not just a monument. It is a presence. The journey begins far below. Visitors gather at the base, looking upward at the long staircase ahead. More than 200 steps, rising steadily toward the sky. Each step is simple, but together, they become something more. A quiet transition. With every step, the noise fades. Conversations soften. The world below begins to feel distant. Wind replaces traffic. Silence replaces urgency. And slowly, the Buddha reveals itself. First, the outline. Then the full form. Massive. Still. Watching over the mountains and the sea beyond. From above, the drone captures a different truth. The people small, moving carefully upward. The statue unchanging, timeless. It is not just the scale that defines this place. It is the contrast. Movement and stillness. Sound and silence. Human and infinite. The Buddha's expression does not change. One hand raised in blessing, the other extended in calm offering. It does not demand attention. Around the statue, life continues quietly. Visitors walk slowly, circling the platform. Some pause for photos, others stand still, as if trying to understand something they cannot quite explain. Below, the mountains stretch endlessly, covered in deep green. The sea glimmers in the distance, reflecting light like a mirror that never rests. From the air, everything feels connected. The paths, the people, the statue, the horizon. There is no rush here. Even time feels different. As the day begins to fall, the light softens. Golden tones settle over the landscape. Shadows grow longer. The sky slowly transforms into a canvas of orange, pink, and deepening blue. The drone pulls back, wider, higher, and there at the center of it all, the Tian Tan Buddha remains. Unmoved by time, unchanged by the passing of day. Visitors begin to leave, but the feeling stays. Because this place offers something rare. Not excitement, not noise, but stillness. A stillness that lingers long after you've gone. And as the final light of the sun touches the face of the Buddha, casting one last glow across the mountains and the endless sea, you begin to understand. This is not just a view from above the world. This is a moment where the world finally becomes quiet enough for you to hear yourself. Sundung, the hidden world beneath the earth. Deep within the dense jungles of central Vietnam, in the heart of Phong Nha Ke Bang National Park, lies a place so vast, so untouched, that for millions of years, it remained completely unknown to the world. This is Doong Cave. A cave not defined by darkness alone, but by the extraordinary life and landscapes it holds within. So that it contains its own ecosystem, weather patterns, and even a jungle growing beneath collapsed ceilings where sunlight finds its way in. For centuries, the entrance to Sun Doong was hidden beneath thick jungle, its presence betrayed only by the distant sound of rushing water and a cold breath of air escaping from the earth. It wasn't until 1991 that a local man stumbled upon its entrance. But it would take nearly 2 more decades before explorers would return equipped, prepared, and ready to face what lay beyond. What they found would redefine the limits of the natural world. Sun Doong is not simply a cave. It is a world, stretching over 5 kilometers in length, with chambers large enough to fit entire city blocks. Its scale challenges perception. In some sections, the ceiling rises more than 200 meters high, large enough to contain a skyscraper. Great Wall of Vietnam towers within, a massive calcite barrier that stands like a natural fortress. Shaped slowly by mineral-rich water over thousands of years. Stalactites hang like ancient monuments from above. Stalagmites rise like silent pillars from below. Everything here has been formed by time, drop by drop, layer by layer. Massive openings, known as dolinis, allow sunlight to pierce the darkness, creating a surreal environment where an entire ecosystem thrives underground. Here, a jungle grows. Towering trees reach upward toward the light. Vines stretch across the cave floor. Mist gathers in the humid air, forming clouds that drift within the cavern itself. Inside Sun Doong, sound behaves differently. Every movement echoes. Every drop of water resonates through the vast emptiness. And yet, there is a profound silence, one that feels almost ancient. It is the silence of a place untouched. A place that has existed for millions of years without human presence. Explorers who enter this cave are not simply visitors. They are witnesses. Witnesses to processes that began long before humanity and will continue long after. Despite its size, Sun Doong is incredibly delicate. Its formations can take centuries to grow just a few centimeters. Its ecosystem depends on a precise balance of light, water, and temperature. Today, access to the cave is strictly controlled, ensuring that its beauty remains preserved. Because places like this are rare, not just in their scale but in their purity. As the journey through Sun Doong comes to an end, one realization becomes impossible to ignore. This is not just the largest cave on Earth. It is one of the last true frontiers. A place where nature still writes its story in silence, far from the noise of the modern world. And as you stand beneath its chambers, surrounded by stone, jungle, and shifting light, you begin to understand that some parts of our planet are not meant to be conquered. They are meant to be respected, to be protected, to be remembered. Because deep beneath the forests of Vietnam, beyond the reach of sunlight and time itself, there exists a world so vast, so alive, and so extraordinary, that it reminds us how much of Earth still remains undiscovered.